Ireland are back in Six Nations action today after a humiliating 88-10 defeat at the hands of England last time out.
Incredible, she's still going. Take a bow, Abby Dow. That was sensational. And that is now a 14th try for England here at Twickenham.
Their opponents, Scotland, though, they'll be feeling buoyed following their 17-10 win over Italy. Both sides are still hoping to grab third spot and that all-important World Cup qualification as they arrive here in Belfast. Both teams and managers will very much want to end this Six Nations campaign on a high. It's Ireland v Scotland live from Kingspan Stadium in Belfast. Well, hello and welcome to Kingspan Stadium, where the sun is threatening to make its way through the clouds. I am delighted to say, joining me in studio today, we have two former Ireland internationals, Claire Small and Lindsay Pate. Girls, thank you so much for being with us today. Claire, as we've seen, a difficult day at the office last week for Ireland, but I'm sure this side will be very much hoping to bounce back today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, last week was a really difficult game for Ireland. Obviously a big win for England, and England played some unbelievable rugby. But for Ireland, it's tough to take, but I think they'll have dusted themselves off, they'll have reviewed that match, and they'll just want to come out today and really bounce back from that. I think there's obviously certain things that they'll want to work on based on last week. But I think over this whole championship, we've seen an Ireland side that has so much potential, and I think today we're going to see a really good performance.
I hope so. Lindsay, surely these are the games you want to be involved in, despite that hurt of last week and the work needed midweek to put things right. You know, home game against Scotland, this is where you want to be as a player.
Absolutely, Nicola. Back on home soil, it just, invigorates you, it gives you that energy again. It's last game of the championship, and look, it's not too long ago where we were here for the excitement, where Enya Breen scored a late try and Cooley slotted over a conversion to get us over the line against Scotland. Scotland have some late changes there and some big players missing, so listen, it's winner takes all today.
Absolutely is. Claire, for you, what went wrong last week?
I think Ireland were definitely a bit overwhelmed by the whole occasion. Obviously we saw an England side that played some of the best rugby that we've seen. Their offloading game, their attack in play, it was top level, and Ireland just couldn't cope with that. Obviously there were a lot of issues in defence with regards to the systems, and sometimes sitting off pillar and dog legs in the defensive line, and those are things that are easy to fix. I just think that Ireland will have looked at that through the week, and they'll want to really make some improvements on that for this week.
They won't be under the same pressure. You can see the speed there. So there was a lack of fold, the lack of pillar. It was actually the pressure they were under to make those decisions a lot quicker. I hate to say it, Nicola, but England were absolutely, I agree with Claire, different gravy last week. They really are sitting pretty in the number one spot at the world rankings, and they showed that last week. They were also away from home in a stadium that is huge. There was 44,000 plus over there, and that brings its own pressure. So look, we're hoping for a pretty much full Kingspan here today, and the lads getting behind the girls.
Absolutely great to be here, as you say, at home at Kingspan Stadium. Let's now hear from both of today's head coaches.
Big prize, but a big challenge to navigate this side of achieving it potentially.
Oh, absolutely. We built some momentum early in the comp. We had a bit of a blip last week. This is the position we wanted to find ourselves in, where we can still be in the hunt for that third spot.
Is this a test then of psychology as much as anything else, to see how players bounce back and how players deal with what's at stake today?
I've been so impressed with the girls this week. The bounce back that we've seen in training, understanding what went on, what happened last week, and getting back on the wagon and getting back on the training pitch to get our identity out there. The girls have got everything right and done everything they've been asked to do this week.
How finely balanced is this?
I think Scotland-Ireland games are always finely balanced. They've been quite tight, and last year, although it was a bigger margin. It was tight up until the last 10 minutes, so we know exactly what's coming today, and we've got to concentrate minute 1 to minute 80. We've not been happy with 80-minute performances, so that's what we'll go for.
What have you made of Ireland under Scott? And maybe there's been a bit of an erratic sense to the Irish Championship. Does that make it a little bit difficult to know what to prepare for today?
A little bit, when somebody new comes in, there's new systems and new structures, and we've seen that, but Ireland are improving, there's no doubt about it. Last week was a blip. We've played against England, it was a blip as well. It doesn't define you. So we've looked at them, and we would know what to expect.
Well, Lindsay, we now know that Wales have beaten Italy 22-20. That keeps things very interesting here today.
Yeah, I mean, the excitement has been building for us as we're checking the results. So that basically means that it's a winner takes all here today. So if Ireland win, it brings us to 2 wins, and Scotland already have 2 wins. So yeah, it'll be down to the wire.
It's a tasty one, Claire.
It definitely is, and I suppose these two teams, there's potential to play some lovely free-flowing attacking rugby. I'm really excited to see Wafer out on the pitch today. I'm really hoping to see her with a lot of ball in hand. We've got Sam Monaghan back in as well, and she's going to really bolster the team, obviously coming in co-captain. She's a great ball carrier, some lovely offloads as well from her, so I'm hoping to see a lot of free-flowing rugby from this Irish side, and hopefully they will get the result.
Claire mentioned Sam Monaghan back, 1 of 3 personnel changes today. Lindsay, is that a big bonus having Sam back in?
It is. Like, Sam had 34 carries, I think, against Wales, 44 in her last game, and that's huge. And she gets us gain line every time, but what we need is runners coming off her, because she attracts it to a double tackle every time. What I'd like to see is what Ireland did very well, as we mentioned Wales, is that they actually stayed square and they attacked, and their speed at ruck has been something that has been exemplary throughout this championship and a real positive. So if they can move that Scottish team around, they'll get gaps, and I think Sam Monaghan will be one of very many to exploit them and get us over the gain line today.
After the match against England, Claire, Scott Beeman said that Ireland need to get used to these big games, these big occasions, like at Twickenham last week, but this feels every bit as big, especially what's on the line. 3rd spot, World Cup qualification.
Yeah, there's a lot right on this game, like 3rd spot, World Cup qualification, as you say, and a place in that WXV1. And that means that, whoever wins this match today is going to be playing top quality, high standard rugby for the rest of the season and into next season. And that's going to stand them in really good stead looking ahead to the next World Cup. So that's somewhere where every team wants to be. They want to be testing themselves against the best in the world. So, yeah, obviously this match today is huge. And whenever it's Ireland against Scotland, it's always a tight affair. It's always a big, big game. So I'm really excited to see these two sides go out to each other today.
It's exciting. Lindsay, we can stand here on the sidelines, but you've been in there in that dressing room. How are those players feeling now?
I think they'll be nervous but very excited. I feel like they'll have probably, I do agree, I'd say Scott has had a good week. There's nothing better than the reviews. They're harsh, but you'll get good learning. So look, I think they're going to right the wrongs and really want to avenge last week's performance and defeat.
Plenty to look forward to. Very excited for the game. Thank you both for your thoughts pre-match. We're now going to pass over to our commentary team. Ciara Griffin is alongside Oisín Langan.
Welcome to Kingspan Stadium for what is a massive game for these two. Let's outline the situation. Scotland start the weekend 3rd in the standings and have remained there after Italy were beaten late on by Wales and Cardiff. Ireland are 5th but know exactly what is needed to finish ahead of both today's opponents and Italy. A victory of any kind, providing that they deny Scotland a pair of bonus points, would see them 3rd. That would bring automatic qualification for the World Cup. There is a lot at stake for these two teams, Ciara Griffin. If possible, this game has become even bigger given what happened in Cardiff.
Absolutely. Look, the Cardiff game there with Wales was breathtaking. So it's all to play for here today, and I'm sure both teams are razor focused on the result that they need.
These two met here 2 years ago when Ireland stole it late on. They look to do the same today. This Scotland team, just like Ireland, well beaten by England. They bounced back from it well, winning in Italy for the first time this century last weekend. For Ireland, the bounce back has to be a bit more immediate. Humbled in Twickenham, but here they are at their home venue for a huge game against Scotland in the Women's Six Nations. And huge numbers have turned up again, and they're making themselves heard. They're getting behind their team. A rainy morning has turned into a chilly but rather pleasant afternoon. Good conditions for a game of rugby, Ciara.
Fantastic conditions, and as you said, the hailstone has stopped. Nice sunny skies out there, so we should see some nice free-flowing rugby with some good carries.
On this 4G surface, which looks absolutely amazing. The teams getting together shoulder to shoulder for the anthems, and then a huge game in the Women's Six Nations. A rousing rendition of Flower of Scotland. Even if you're not Scottish, it can kind of get you going, can't it? We're almost ready to go here for this clash between Ireland and Scotland. Here are the teams. Ireland have made 3 changes to the team that was well beaten by England at Twickenham last week. The most noticeable being the return of Sam Monaghan to the second row. Her leadership was missed in Twickenham. There is consistency in the front rows and the back rows which remain unchanged. There are 2 changes to the back line, with Enya Breen, the hero of 2 years ago here against Scotland, coming into midfield, and Maeve Deely at full back. There are late changes to the Scotland team, with Lana Skeldon dropping out, meaning Ellis Martin starts at hooker while Leah Bartlett is at loose head. Molly Wright moves to the bench. In one change that was named earlier in the week, Emma Wassell links with Louise Macmillan in the second row. In the backs, Rona Lloyd has been released to the Team GB 7 squad, while Chloe Raleigh is suspended following her red card against Italy. That means Corinne Grant is on the right wing and Meryl Smith is at full back. Scotland will get us underway. Our referee is Natasha Ganley from New Zealand. The anticipation, the noise, the nerves. Ciara, it doesn't get any bigger than this, does it?
No, absolutely. And what a stage to show your might and see a good performance being put in. Looks like it's going to be a cracker.
Well, we're awaiting word from the referee along with her team of officials as to when we can get going, get underway. Lisa Thompson in about 8 seconds will kick this ball into the sky. Made her debut for Scotland back in 2016. Has also played sevens. She was part of the Team GB setup. And we mentioned Lloyd, who has had to go back to Team GB. She's a huge loss for Scotland, isn't she?
Massive loss. She's just such a good line. She runs such great lines and really interlinks quite well with her back, so she'll be a massive loss today.
And away we go. And it's a good gather, a smart take by Aoife Wafer, who's had a great tournament so far. Evie Riley and Dan O'Brien will exit. A great weekend for her home club of Tullow last weekend. Not only did they win the Leinster Towns Cup, but they also gained AIL status, their women's team beating Queens in Balbriggan. On the attack is Maeve Deely. Deely at pace. The pass wasn't necessarily the best, but it was very well taken. Here's Evie Riley. Jugang, so good to carry. Can really gain meters, gain yards. And it is a penalty to Ireland. Scotland not rolling away. That's a very good start for Ireland.
Good start and very clever play, pinning in Belle Isle when she fell on the wrong side, making the ref aware too. Looking to play the ball and get advantage early.
Scotland getting a feel for the ball, their first real possession of the match. And that's knocked on. It was a kick that was fired down the line, but she'll still be frustrated for not gathering that one.
Very good positioning by Lisa Thompson after that penalty kick. She didn't take it for granted, gathered it well, and quick kick down the field as well. It's quite a big momentum shift from Ireland hoping to secure a penalty in a line-out drive to being inside your own half against a strong Scottish pack.
Mattinson will feed. Born in Scotland but raised in England. Did actually play for England 7 times. There's Brian Easton, the Scotland coach. Has a great story himself. Had to retire at the age of 24 due to a back injury, but within 3 months of retiring he got testicular cancer. He went on to work in rugby for the rest of his life. As you can see, he was a development officer. He said he went from the top of the UK to the bottom, actually the other way around, because he went from Exeter to Inverness. Anyway, Scotland trying to bash through with Lisa Thompson. Smith tries to slip up to that 10-metre line. Mattinson. That's a good take and a good catch by Wassell, who in 2022 became the first Scottish international to play 50 times in a row for her country. That's Dan O'Brien. Scotland losing the possession. It's a nervy start perhaps for both teams. That's a good leg drive, great work there.
Ball is there.
And Ireland run it. Trying to slip through is Eve Higgins. It's a really good play by Higgins, eventually brought to ground. Riley.
No.
Haney wants it, doesn't come to her though. Went off to McMahon. Riley. O'Brien. Jugang. Noticeable maybe that O'Brien has gone with the hands more than the boot so far. As Ireland go to the wing, and trucking it up is Brittany Hogan. Jugang, as the rain begins to fall again over Belfast.
It's your own player. It's your own player.
Riley. O'Brien. Parsons. Great footwork by Parsons. Ireland looking composed. Well, commentators curse. Scotland steal it back. And it will be a Scottish scrum.
Some really good phases put through there by Ireland, really using the hands, backing their passing ability. At times you'd love to see him be more direct. They're going a bit lateral. Strong carry here by Lisa Thompson. Last week you would have seen England got a good bit of go forward ball through that 10 channel. So I suppose it's an area Scotland look to attack today.
Higgins trying to break and stopped by strong Scottish defence.
The last scrum was quite evenly balanced. It was quite a good hit. So I suppose you're looking to play the same here. Scotland will use it as a nice set piece starter. Both packs are quite evenly met.
Scotland, who won for the first time in Wales since the Six Nations became the Six Nations. Then last week won in Italy for the first time since 1999. They're hoping to break down another barrier here by winning in Belfast. Ball gathered by Thompson. Mattinson.
Hold in front.
And they go with the boot. Helen Nelson. Gathered well. They'll run it back. Parsons. Parsons moving into heavy traffic, but Riley will recycle as that rain gets a bit heavier. Riley. O'Brien, this time she will go with the boot. It's an up and under. And the chase came, but Scotland secured the possession.
Offside. 9 in front of the kicker.
And Scotland had the penalty because Riley was offside.
Inside.
Well gathered there by Nelson. She's very confident coming onto that ball. You see the option there what Scotland have. They have both Thompson and Nelson who can both play as playmakers. You've Nelson there who's the first receiver off that scrum, which gave Thompson not the first receiver, which gave Nelson the opportunity in the pocket for that clearing kick.
Nelson more happy in the snow than the rain. She was part of the Scottish Alpine skiing team at one stage. And her Aunt Claire actually played for Ireland against Scotland in 1993.
Cool. The middle, the line is here.
You can see Scotland going for a 6+1 here. You can see already what they're going to try and do. A strong maul.
Ellis Martin, who was one of those late changes. The Scottish maul is very effective. They tried to get it going. It was Wassel who took it. They're driving Ireland back. Mattinson wants to take control, and she does. What can the backs do with it? Trying to make her way through is Emma Orr. Mattinson.
You have the advantage, line.
Mattinson wants to get her hands on this ball, and she does. And gave it to Malcolm. Mattinson slips.
No advantage. Number 1 green on the side of the maul. 1 on the side.
And Jugang is pinged for an infringement at maul time.
Yeah, it was good driving maul there by Scotland, even though Ireland got a really good defensive fit on it. Scotland, with all their experience, did quite a good spin, and they regathered, forcing Jugang to win the side.
Thompson. Into the corner it goes.
Line is
And
the
no
middle.
prizes for guessing what Scotland will do
Take
here.
a step at the front. Line is the middle.
Ellis Martin of the Leicester Tigers. Used to play basketball, but her coach told her that she fouled too much and maybe rugby would suit her better. Here comes the drive. Malcolm took it.
Good leg drive here. Look, you can see, look at that all in. You can see Thompson joining in.
They're close. Can they ground it? Yes, they can. Try Scotland.
Well worked try there by Scotland. But if you look back, it was compounded through Irish errors, letting Scotland into the half, for giving possession over, and then Scotland just being very patient in their attack.
Really well taken by Malcolm.
Thanks, Dan.
And while there was a convergence of bodies, and it's hard to see, I think it was Martin who grounded it. Let's see if we can clarify that. I'm sure Scotland don't mind, so long as someone got the try.
Yep, Martin.
I think that was good pictures on that last one early. Nice and tidy setup.
Well, Martin getting the credit. Belisle seemed to be quite happy with herself as well. I'm sure she was happy because Scotland scored, but either way, Scotland have the try. And here's Helen Nelson, who's a 55.6% goal kicker so far in the competition.
No. You haven't started your run up, so you're fine. You got 14 seconds though. 10 seconds.
Kept cool under pressure. The kick just misses. You know it's coming, but that doesn't make it any easier to stop, does it?
It's just such a well positioned maul. Really good positioning in terms, look at their legs, nice 90-degree angle, shins close to the grass, putting all their power through, using their power accurately.
So as it stands, Scotland will finish third and will go to the World Cup. A long way to go yet, though. Parsons tries to keep it in play.
Yeah, option. Green ball or blue ball? Yeah, green ball or blue ball? Off green. You've got an option of a scrum or a line out.
Did their player knocked it on and then the other player caught it in front? Is that not penalty?
So we're going to go. So I'm happy that it was kind of it was flat. So you want to knock on or
line out, please. What about the turnover from the?
I was happy that they turned it over. It's a line out.
You can see there clever questioning from Malcolm, questioning the ref to see if there was a penalty option. Malcolm with a lot of experience, she's been captain for a number of years, and it's just that wording is so important in putting that seeded out into the ref's mind early.
No better person to get into someone's head, Malcolm. She's a PhD in psychology. Granted, environmental psychology, but still psychology.
Yeah, thank you.
Open up, please. Open up. Open up. Open up. Yeah. Thank you.
Malcolm has won 13 lineouts up to today, including steals. That one actually goes to Macmillan, who has the highest lineout steal rate so far in this competition. That wasn't stolen, it was targeted, aimed and taken. And Scotland again using that maul. They're so impressive. Evie Gallagher, as she would be called in Scotland, Gallagher as she'd be called here, Nelson.
Hold on.
Bounce sits up nicely and Parsons will counter-attack. Riley, Jugang slips through a gap. Good work by Jugang. Mattinson is down for Scotland. We play on for the moment. Here's O'Brien.
Wingers are on. Hold on.
A testing kick up in the sky and a test pass by Scotland. Really well taken by Helen Nelson of Loughborough Lightning. Now Scotland's scrum half is still receiving treatment, so they need Thompson to fill in. And that's dropped and knocked forward, and it's a scrum to Ireland.
Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam. Someone got him, Mum. There we go.
Time's off, injury. It will be a scrum. Time's off.
Well, we'll stop for the moment because Mattinson is still receiving treatment. Scotland 5-0 up against Ireland. Brian Easton, the coach, watching on, says that they have a theme for every campaign they play, whether or not it's the Six Nations or WXB. The theme for this year's Six Nations is no fear. Apparently it comes from surfing.
Is there anything they did?
And that's the way they're playing. They're backing themselves, they're backing their ability. They'll take great pride and, as you say, great confidence from their 2 away wins. They had 2 difficult home matches with both France and England at home, and targeting your away wins is a tough task, but they've done it quite well so far. And I suppose we're targeting this game as well. They're at a good start. You'd hope Mattinson here is okay.
Thank you.
Quite worrying images, but hopefully it's just all protocol and they're just taking every precaution. She would be a massive loss.
Time will be off for a while, so.
Well, you heard for the from the referee there that time will be off for a while. McDonald will come in, but we don't know exactly how long that will take. All the necessary precautions will be taken as Mattinson receives treatment. And her teammates got into a huddle there. The Ireland players did the same. I imagine at some stage they'll just start flinging a ball around to try and stay warm. Scotland off camera have started that already. And McDonald comes in, the 26-year-old scrum half from Exeter, well, plays for Exeter. Has 100% passing accuracy so far. She's thrown 271 passes. So she's accurate.
Exactly. Which you need today in these conditions. There's been really positive play on both sides of the ball. You can see Nelson for Scotland is very confident at a high ball. Last week Ireland, maybe you might have seen him kick the ball a bit too much. And today they've started kicking early, I suppose, playing the conditions, forcing those unforced errors in an attempt for Scotland, but Nelson is dealing quite well under the pressure.
Scott Beamont looking on. I wonder what he will have made of what he's seen so far. Ireland have had a bit of territory and a bit of possession, but no real chances to either kick or run over some points.
No, and as we said, they were nearly forcing it at times, maybe taking that extra pass when it wasn't done, or trying to pick the ball and go through the middle of a ruck, rather than just taking the time, securing that breakdown and setting off a play off it. It's just playing the simple things in these conditions, just to get your confidence and your foot in the door early in the game. But I'm sure, look, as Bement, as we're saying a lot about momentum and Ireland using momentum in the right ways. This injury will break the momentum out of the play, and I suppose whichever team restarts best and puts their best foot forward after the break.
Last week, missed tackles was Ireland's biggest issue, and while England are vastly superior and would beat them anyway, the manner of the scoreline was quite humiliating for the team. They haven't tried to hide that. They missed too many tackles. Does it look like that's something that they've addressed coming into this game? Does it look like that's something that they're going to get right and have got right so far?
So far, it looks like they have. It looks like they're doing more double hits, but then when you dominate double hits, you're kind of given that license that there is that option on the outside for that soft shoulder if the ball carrier gets a quick tip option. So I suppose they have to read what's in front of them as well. It's not just biting in and to get a big double hit. It's playing a smart what's in front of them. But as you said, look, the missed tackles last week, they'll agree themselves. It wasn't up to standard, and hopefully we'll see a marked improvement today.
Okay, let's get the thoughts of Lindsay Peat and Claire Small, who are watching the game on the side of the pitch. Lindsay, firstly to you, what are you making of it so far?
Ireland look a bit nervy, Oisín, don't they? I thought from last week they'd be bolstered by the fact that they're back on home soil and there's everything to play for against the Scotland team. They're well pitched against. Like we have a lot of they're young, albeit, and I think that naivety was shown up last week, but I would think they should come in very confident in the previous matches against Wales and Italy, which they probably left behind, and against a far superior French team. So I'd like to see them just maybe get on, just carry some ball, settle the nerves and really start to dominate Scotland. But right now they're just looking a little bit nervy to me.
Claire, how difficult is it to handle a situation like this when there's a long stoppage and you have to stop and then start again at an unknown point in time? We don't know when we'll get started again, and we don't need to rush it, obviously, because the only important thing is Madison and her treatment, and they take care of her. But it is difficult, I imagine, when you're out there and you have to start and stop.
Yeah, oh, it absolutely is. Whenever you've started an intake game and it hasn't quite been going how you'd want it to start, and then to have this stoppage, maybe this is a good time for Ireland to regroup, but as you say, it's hard to keep that focus. But we can see, obviously, Ireland have split off into backs and forwards. Forwards look like they were trying to set up some line-outs, or going through their handling, trying to keep warm. And yeah, I suppose we just hope that Ireland will be able to regroup, because it's been a real tentative sort of start from them. But they'll want to, once the match gets started off again, they'll definitely want to come out firing and get hands on ball and really go through some phases and get themselves into the match.
Okay, more from Claire and Lindsay, and of course Nicola at half-time. Scotland with that lead early on. Matheson still receiving treatment. I imagine if you're one of her teammates, this does occupy your thoughts a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Scotland are quite a close-knit group. You can see they're nearly like a family in times. They will be very worried for Matheson, but again, they understand they have a job of work to do, so they'll have to obviously be worried about Matheson, but then park that and focus on the next job at hand.
If they're missing Lloyd and Raleigh, they're not showing it so far, are they, Scotland?
No, they aren't, and I just think Thompson really has stepped up at that 12 channel. She's really running that ball at some hard channels down the 9 and 10. Again, targeting that, I suppose they might target as a weak area for Ireland in terms of defence. Scotland obviously have their homework done here. You can see Nelson is launching her into that attack as well, which gives you more attacking options off the ball.
And Rachel Malcolm having a word with the referee there. Rachel Malcolm, the 32-year-old back row, who is the captain of Scotland. And there are some players who just are pure captains. They look like they're born to it and born for it. She's one of those players.
Absolutely. She plays with her heart in her sleeve. She leads by example in her play. She is an absolute workhorse. She hits every breakdown. She's your dominant six. She's tenacious at the breakdown. She's a menace and a pest as well. Always forcing turnovers or testing the seal. So, as a captain, she definitely has the respect of her teammates, and they all follow her, and it's great to see. And she's very generous, very nice person off the pitch also.
It's tough as well for the players to handle the stoppage, but also the rain, because it was raining earlier on. It had stopped, it was dryish, and then a few minutes into the game, the rain started and it got heavier.
Absolutely, you're getting all the 4 seasons in one here.
Well, Matheson is about to be taken off. Every precaution being taken. We wish her well and hope that it is just precautions. And MacDonald has come in, 26-year-old scrum half. Played for Glasgow Warriors in the Celtic Challenge. a competition, Ciara, that I've no doubt you hope gets bigger, because it seems to be it gives a chance to players to play at a higher level, slightly higher than AIL and the equivalent in Scotland, and just to get them up to the pitch of it.
It does, absolutely, but I don't think Celtic Challenge can replace the IL in here. The IL is such an important competition in Ireland. I hope it is respected, and the Celtic Challenge is used as an opportunity, but we can't forget the grassroots, which is our IL programme.
So we will get back underway. We send our best wishes to Mattinson, and as we say, hopefully those were just precautions and you don't take any chances. So here we go, after a long delay.
Can she come to us so it gaps out?
And it will
They set the
be
gap, and if they overextend, it's on them.
Ireland who have the scrum, because there was a knock-on. That seems like such a long time ago. And it will be Riley to feed that scrum. Riley, who has a 96.9% accuracy in her passing so far this season in the Guinness Women's Six Nations. Riley feeds. Ireland look to break, and it's a decent looking break as well from Wafer, who's been excellent. Riley stepping this way, and that is O'Brien. It comes off Higgins and goes backwards, and it's rescued by Green rather than Blue.
Hands off!
Riley. Ireland just have to go again. McMahon, the captain. Riley.
Right, bring us around.
Smith allows it to kind of fall into her path. It's an awkward enough one to take for Smith. And Ireland catch a real break because Scotland couldn't catch the ball.
Unfortunate golden rule, don't let the ball bounce. Unfortunately, the quick 4G surface in the ball in the rain has made it quite slippy, and unfortunately went against her there.
She was desperately unlucky. It's really tough. Smith, who can play across the back line.
Strong carry there by Wafer. Again, Ireland seem to be interlinking between Hogan and Wafer at that 8 position. You seem to see Wafer going at 8 on all attacking scrums, with Hogan going 8 on all defensive scrums. Obviously, Wafer is quite an explosive first 3 to 5 metres, which is ideal for your back row carry.
That is a mark there.
Riley to feed. The rain not helping the players, as you can see by that handling error statistic. So Ireland with a chance to mount a first meaningful attack.
Next one's a penalty kick. Elbow needs to stay up.
Can we get a smaller gap? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Haney being warned there.
Yeah.
Just that binder going straight down.
The obligation is on you to hold your weight before the set.
Riley, who played underage Gaelic football with Roscommon. Just one of those very talented people, regardless of what sport they play. Riley. Corrigan wanted it, but they go infield rather than out, and it was Breen. Riley. Good take and shoveled on by Wall.
Great intercept by Thompson.
Scotland looks to clear, and they will. It's Nelson.
No, wait.
Dan O'Brien. Now will she run it or kick it? It's a dipping kick.
9, wait.
And Scotland clear again, but it kind of skewed off the boot. Not necessarily the distance she wanted to get out of that, but gets out of the 22 in any case.
Look at that, look at Thompson up hard in the defensive line. Seeing the tip on option, good pressure, lucky intercept. And again, I suppose you make your own luck at times with your work rate off the ball.
Well, the crowd are doing their part as Ireland take their first line out.
Let's go.
Niamh Jones. From up the road in Ballymena. Oh, slips through the hands of Monaghan. It's loose and Scotland grab the possession. Advantage coming their way, but they mightn't need it. McDonald, who's settled into the game. Granted, she's not long in it. Scotland use their pace. And Ireland get across. Corrigan combining well with Higgins. And they put Scottish winger McGee into touch. No doubt they would have been warned, do not give Fran McGee any space because she can really do damage.
You can see the conditions there, really playing with the handling
30
accuracy.
seconds, ladies, let's go.
Monaghan makes the call. Ireland, oh, they don't secure the possession because it's crooked.
Great pressure in there from Scotland as well, putting that pad up.
Rachel, scrum or line out.
And
Line
Macmillan
out,
gets a
blue
few
ball.
pats on the back
Mark.
from her teammates.
If you look at the work rate there from Malcolm, she was going back as a back pod in, recognising that work rate to turn
Here's the
and
middle
get Macmillan
over,
up.
please.
Great work rate off the ball.
Thank you.
So here is Martin, just to remind you, who was a late replacement. Came in for Skeldon, who's a big loss. Monaghan got her hand on it. Scotland interrupted, but Nelson tidies it up a bit. McDonald. It's a carry from Rossall. McDonald. Nelson. Corrigan makes the call, and Corrigan gathers. Corrigan, who has got pace. Like Dan O'Brien, played in Tullow in her early years. What can Ireland do with this one? Hogan. Riley. O'Brien.
Hold. Wingers are on.
Nelson monitoring it.
Hold on.
That's a good take by Nelson.
Hold blue, wait. On now.
That's a confident take. And in it goes to O'Brien.
Wingers on.
The chase is coming from Dealey.
What is
She
that?
almost got it.
You can see that seems to be a bit of a game plan by Ireland, that high up and under. We're supposed to try and get the backs on the ball early. Excellent when it works out, but also there's that fear also with the conditions, you know, that extra knock-on handling. You can see Scotland go for a short and line out.
Over. Sorry, there's a big whistle. Over.
Dave Gallagher on the outside Thompson as a crash option.
Martin. Malcolm got a hand to it, but couldn't get it under control. And it's Irish ball.
Right, let it go now.
Riley. Monaghan, can she bash her way through?
Backwards.
The co-captain.
Ball
Riley,
was out.
she's swallowed up, but keeps her composure. And Ireland keep the ball. And there's Christy Haney. Riley. O'Brien. O'Brien with that trusty left boot again. Scarpering back to try and get there as Grant. She can't. It's an excellent kick from O'Brien.
This inside. Inside. Sorry, outside. It's outside.
Big double hit there on Monaghan. You can see
TMO's
Scotland
confirmed that it's
they're putting a lot of pressure at the Irish breakdown.
Blue on the line. It's outside. Blue ball.
Just outside.
Yep.
Would have been a fabulous 50-22 otherwise.
But still a very decent kick in the sense that it forced Scotland right back.
Happy with that?
Well taken by Wassell. Oh, no, it wasn't. Wafer. Ireland trying to build some momentum. Riley. Monaghan. Double tackled again. That's obviously a tactic.
Blue roll.
Riley to the narrow side, and O'Brien, who rolls one through. Will it sit up nicely? On the chase after it was Enya Breen, couldn't quite get there, but Ireland had the free play anyway.
No split, so square.
The double hit on Monaghan seems to be a regular tactic, obviously trying to stop the offload.
But she's not called Sonny Bill Sam for nothing. That's for the offloading ability rather than the boxing ability. Sonny Bill was also a professional boxer.
big scrum here now for Ireland.
Riley ready to feed. And she was ready, and then it stops. They seem to be growing their way into the game, Ireland.
They are definitely bit by bit. They're getting more time in the Scottish half as well. Again, the execution, just I suppose working through the phases.
At the same time, Scotland have looked comfortable defending what Ireland have had to throw at them. Riley. Riley goes to the back. Way forward break, gives to Riley. Green wanted, didn't get it. O'Brien, Higgins. Riley carrying now his wall. Hogan in there battling away. Here's Riley. Niamh Jones didn't get the chance to kind of burst off the spot. She can do that really well. Scotland know where the danger is in this Ireland team, don't they? Riley back inside to Monaghan. Again, a double hit. Riley. O'Brien is waiting. O'Brien receives Chugang. Riley. O'Brien goes loose and got away, unfortunately, from Enya Breen. And it's a knock on, and it's a Scottish scrum.
You can see McDonald, she in all the defensive line, she's coming off that line. She's showing high as that 9 on the wing option. It looks very minimal, but it's that eye line in your eye line. You see the extra defender puts that seed of doubt in your, I suppose, in your decision making as an attack.
As it stands, Scotland will finish third. Scotland will be at the World Cup, but there is backdoors for Ireland, and ones that you'd fancy Ireland to get through. You'd take nothing for granted, but there is still a path to the World Cup.
No, absolutely. The WXV2, there's many options qualified for the World Cup through that. So I think it's very important people understand all is not lost if you don't finish third in the Six Nations this year. There's a lot more options to qualify for the World Cup after.
McDonald. Ireland drove them back a little bit, but Scotland got the ball out quickly. Carrying it away there was Thompson. Here's McDonald. Nelson.
Wing is on.
Kept Ryan it all the way and will now run it back. It's Parsons. Parsons! That's brilliant from Parsons. Great footwork. Riley. Monaghan. O'Brien. Hogan. Another really decent ball carrier. Scotland drive her back though. That's very good defence.
That's a ball.
Scotland get the scrum.
Good momentum shifted there for Scotland. Hogan did very well. Good leg drive, broke the first tackle. The Irish support play nearly hindered that in a way. They were driving Hogan sideways, forcing her, again giving Scotland time to get under the ball.
Time off.
This was a great break by Parsons, but very often in this game Ireland have done a couple of good things and then followed it by a lapse in discipline. Now forced into that by Scotland.
Exactly, it's the Scottish pressure that is forcing this discipline.
Running repair is being given to Christine Belisle at the moment. Originally from Canada, but obviously now representing Scotland.
You're good?
She might take a trip down to the Odyssey because she's a former figure skater. That's where they play the ice hockey matches, by the way, just to clarify.
No, I was fine with the obstruction because she didn't change her line to block someone else. She kind of ran around her. So.
Just on some of that play, Ellis Martin is getting through an awful lot of work in defence. She's making a lot of tackles, so she's working very hard on the pitch.
Belisle is okay, she's up and running.
You can see there it's been a strong defensive effort by Scotland, 26 tackles. Again, that can be energy zapping, but they're getting great energy from the turnovers that they're forcing.
So it will be a Scotland put-in from McDonald, who replaced the injured Mattinson.
Bounce.
Yes, let's go in there.
Set. Reset that one, ladies.
We have to go again. Scotland's scrum was excellent last week. It's pretty good again this week, isn't it?
It is putting a lot of pressure on the Irish front row here.
Both sides.
It seems that the footing is going here. Seems to be maybe a bit of a too long of bind. Not saying I've any front row experience, but just from just from observing.
You've been close enough. Closer than most.
Thank you, not in there.
Same again, Lee. Let's go, pal.
Crouch. Bounce. Set.
In theory, footwork and keeping your footing shouldn't be as big an issue as on a 4G pitch. Here's Nelson. That's just a general point, not about that scrum specifically. Nelson again trying to bounce back up.
Right, release now, Green. No hands.
Ireland have to release. McDonald. Not overly clean ball. Ireland trying to turn it over.
Good counter pressure here by Wafer.
Sorry.
McDonald. Malcolm.
Hold here.
McDonald.
Use it now.
Is it a case of Scotland being slow at the breakdown or Ireland slowing them down?
Ireland are slowing it down. They're really making a mess of it.
Oh, great block down by Jugang. Nelson rescues it. Scotland forced back.
Hold, Blue, hold,
And Meryl
hold.
Smith has to clear.
All on.
But Corrigan will come down this right side. Riley.
I'm good.
Haney. Through the dummy there, now gets support from Jugang and Monaghan.
Right, Blue, off it.
Riley. O'Brien. Oh, it's knocked down by McMahon, and it is a Scottish scrum. If they want it, that is, which they don't at the moment. McDonald hooks it over. And that's well taken. And here's Maeve Deely.
You're off your feet now.
Riley with O'Brien waiting for it, hands out. Doesn't kick it. Jugang will carry again. Jugang does carry well again.
Now you're off your feet.
Riley.
ladies.
O'Brien.
Wingers are on.
No real breeze to speak of, and the rain has stopped. That makes it slightly easier to take those high dropping balls, and Smith did well. Over the top it goes from Deely, and we'll come back because that was out on the full.
Bit of kick tennis there for a while. Just forcing that unforced error there from Deely. Again, it was all just millimetres.
Blue on the line.
Great pressure here by Jugang on the kick. Well recovered by Nelson.
Blue on the line.
So far this season, she's made 15 dominant tackles. That's more than any other player in the tournament up to today, but it's her running and her ball carrying that's something Ireland have really relied on today. Niamh Jones, away for...
Great steal by Monaghan in the line.
Riley has a look around, sees O'Brien deep.
Winger is on.
Smith.
Ball on.
Again, the bounce rather awkward. Smith forced to kick. And that's a decent end result for Ireland, one might suggest.
It is absolutely, that's nearly a 50-metre shift. Again, now they're an attacking option on the Scottish 22.
Blue on the line.
Great steal there by Monaghan in the line. Well retrieved by Jones as well. Good reaction at the back.
On the line.
You can see straight away they look to play.
Niamh Jones.
Blue on the line. They're going to come in.
Well taken by Hogan. Ireland ball. Wafer, I think, has it under her arm. And now it's Jones who has, and Ireland still drive on. Advantage being played. It's turned into a penalty if they want it.
Number 8. Leave it.
Oh.
Leave it.
Away from
Number
Martin.
8 on the side of the ball.
So do they kick for the posts here or go to the corner? Kira, what do you think they should do?
I've got it for in 2 penalty.
You go quick to the corner, nice strong maul. Get that
You
low.
answered that after she took the ball in her hand and clearly wasn't going to put it on a tee. You get no points for that.
Just leave it after the ball.
Ireland will hope to get some points from this line out and maul to follow.
Difficult situation there for Gallagher. You know, she stayed in the same bind. She came through the middle. It's obviously how the ref observes it as well. It's so similar enough example to the Zhu Gang's penalty earlier.
Jones, Ireland closer than they've been so far. And Monaghan takes it. And still they go close to that line. Riley will have to get her hands on it. She wants the ball. She's trying to get Bartlett to get away. Riley, Monaghan, juggled and lost by Breen, but it's still with Ireland somehow. Inches away, Riley, Jones. Riley. O'Brien kicks.
What number, Ireland?
I think she was. I think there was a free play anyway. That's what it looks like anyway. Yeah.
Bartlett not rolling away just from the defensive maul.
We had to go back a long way for that advantage, but it was good refereeing. O'Brien knew that.
I imagine she'll kick here for the maul again.
That's a very bold piece of analysis, and that's exactly what she does. So the forwards having a word. That will give them a bit of confidence.
It will complete. You'd imagine Scotland stay down here for a defensive hit.
Open up, the line is the middle. Open up, please. Take a step. Take a step.
Jones. Ireland have it. Scotland try and keep them out. It's Jones at the back. Jones, who's a try-scoring machine, pumps the legs. Jones, has she grounded?
Held up by Thompson.
So close.
What positioning by Lisa Thompson there, just that ball awareness to see the timing of when to go under. Great defensive effort there. See here, strong hit in the maul, strong defence, really strong leg drive. Again, Thompson here just positioning and timing. Textbook.
So Scotland with the goal line kick.
Thanks, Sam.
Gathered by O'Brien. Hogan. Riley. McMahon with support from It was Wall, I beg your pardon, had support from McMahon. Here's Deely.
Release now.
Riley. Well taken by McMahon. Jugang. Gaining ground again. Here's Riley. O'Brien. Out to the wing it goes. Hogan. Ireland playing with a bit of pace and a bit of energy. Here's Riley. Advantage coming. Kind of the definition of off your feet, wasn't it?
It's just unfortunate from Scotland. Like, they had a good defensive line. It was unnecessary. So just being eager to get that ball, but you have to read the situation also.
And Ireland into the 22, and they will have the line out.
On there, yep. Over. She set the mark, yep.
Well taken by Hogan. Ireland drive on. It's really good by Ireland. The crowd get behind them. Numbers pouring into that moat.
Release now. You got the advantage.
It is still on the Irish side. It's a little bit messy. Riley has to tidy it up. And Ireland have the penalty.
You're offside. It's inside.
Another penalty advantage in this area. Scotland want to be careful.
Right. And the side of the maul, she came in. Yeah. Here. Yeah. I've just given them a warning. Okay, thank you.
Sam Monaghan reminding the referee as to how many times Scotland have infringed around that area. O'Brien into the corner.
Line is the middle. Yeah. Take a step off, line is the middle.
Just goes over Monaghan. And Scotland fumble, and it's back on the Irish side. Riley. Breen. Monaghan. Riley. Good take by Dorothy Wall. Good drive by Ireland. O'Brien.
Advantage over for the knock-on.
They're trying to work it to the wing. Dealey. Riley will probably go back infield. That's exactly what she does. And Adele McMahon. And Scotland get the scrum.
Advantage is over.
Good defensive pressure there by Scotland, forcing the knock on in the tackle. Here again, it's just execution in these areas.
Not stopping time though, so when they're set, we're going. Is time is not off.
Ellis Martin again forcing that pressure.
Let's go.
Ellis Martin, who had her career held up by an ACL, but as you can see, she's flying now.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Crouch.
Sit. I need help. She needs help. She's like herself.
Bind. Sit.
McDonald. Throws loose. Riley wraps up McDonald. Scotland still have it, but they have been slowed down.
Ball is there. 6. Leave it.
Malcolm.
All right, tackle it off. Green, no.
Scotland frustrated. They want to get this ball out, but they have the penalty now. Ireland not rolling away.
Number 3, roll fist.
And a little bit of afters. Nothing wrong with that.
No, you see in the scrum there, the ball seems to be getting caught in the Scottish second row. They're not getting a clear strike of the ball, which is forcing McDonald to go searching or it's shooting out the side. It's something you need to sort out that channel so they get that clean strike and get that clean ball for their attacking plays.
Christy Haney receiving some treatment as we have a look at what happened there.
Cool, thank you.
It wasn't vicious, but could Martin be lucky to avoid?
Yeah, it was just unnecessary. Again, look, you got to see Jones went to counter ruck as well, and the ball wasn't there, so much of a muchness. It's just a heated moment.
Christy Haney
Time on, ladies.
is okay. She'll continue. Christy Haney, originally from the States, but qualifies for Ireland through her Tipperary grandmother.
Oh, sorry, no, it doesn't. Penalty. No, sorry, it's a penalty. No, that was my bad. That was me.
We were mentioning a season of first for Scotland. They also sold out the Hive, which is a good achievement as well.
Yeah.
Scotland with the line out. Martin goes to the back. And it wasn't straight. And there's no real breeze to speak of today.
No, it's just a unforced error there. A lot of movement in the Scottish line, in the Scottish line out. You know, sometimes you think just an easy up and in
Just make sure your bind's nice and long, because as soon as you come in, you lose your streak.
can be just as effective.
Given the start they have, I imagine Scotland will be rather frustrated to only be 5-0 up going in at the break. Granted, for the last 10-15 minutes or so, it's been all Ireland in a territory and possession sense, and while they were held up over the line, aside from that, they didn't have too many chances.
It's been quite a stop-start kind of half. A lot of unforced errors, breaking momentum.
Right, you're going sideways, clear it.
Is there another twist before the break?
Yeah, if there's no clear pictures from either side, we're going to reset it. Both going sideways. What's that? Yeah. There's a mark.
Can we go B a bit?
And we're into the red.
Both went in there. Let's go. Wait till after. Second. Pick your time. Pick your time. Thank you. Crouch.
As a referee, Natasha Ganley doesn't leave you wondering, does she? She's very clear in her instructions and what
Ladies,
she wants.
when I say crouch, we need a crouch, all right? All right. Let's go.
And there's another example.
Let's go. Keep the pose as well, yeah? Let's go. Seconds.
By the way, in that Scottish pack, Emma Wassell, it's great to see her back. Her mother Pauline passed away recently, and we send our condolences to all the family. And her teammates have stood by her and supported her, and it's great to see her back on the field of play today. Riley feeds. Riley takes. Inside it went to Breen. Riley carried well by Wall. Riley to the short side and O'Brien. Corrigan, can she find a way through? I think that's Deely on that far touchline. Back inside, McMahon flung it to O'Brien. Now it's Jugang. Great hands by Jugang.
Right, tackle, release now.
It's Scottish ball. It's not. It's a penalty to Ireland. Scotland didn't roll away.
But you slowed down play.
Now, corner or post?
Pardon?
Post.
Yeah, it's the first one of the tackle not rolling though.
You'd imagine Ireland will go for post here just to get the 3 points leading into the break. It looks like I'm incorrect.
Dan O'Brien is going to go for it. They don't do things in half measures until and Dan O'Brien shows that again. By the way, congratulations to her clubmate Sean O'Brien for all he's done for Ireland. Last week he was very emotional having won a Towns Cup on the field of play, which is what he really wanted, and he's got one now. Anyway, we'll concentrate on Jones. Jones. Monaghan wanted it, it was disrupted, it's back on the Scottish side.
You imagine Scotland just clear here.
Scotland will be happy enough to go to half-time, and Nelson just stabs it over the line. So, a tight game, a close game, at times an exciting game at the break here in Kingspan Stadium. A try from a maul for Scotland has them in front. And Ireland trailing. Scotland looking good to finish third at the moment. Ireland 0, Scotland 5.
Thank you very much, Oisín and Ciara. Delighted to say back in studio with me, former Ireland internationals Claire Small and Lindsay Peat. Lindsay, it's tight, it's cagey, it's what we expected really, isn't it?
Oh, listen, I don't know what to make of it. I can't really sit still. You know, there's excitement there, but it's actually nervous excitement, isn't it, really? And I do agree with Ciara Griffin there. I would have, and listen, people who know me, I live on the edge. I would have taken the 3 points there because it has taken a long time for this young Irish team to get into this game. They have dominated in the last 10 to 15 minutes, but they have no return for it. Going in at half-time would have been 5-3 rather than 5-0. Would they have a different mindset coming out in the second half? I think so, and I think it's just now missed opportunities, which really reminds me of the Italy game, Claire. Would I be right? It just naive decisions in a really tight game. And let's be clear to the audience at home, this is a must-win for Ireland if they want to finish third, and it's well within their grasp. So I think we need to see some confidence and some playing ball and just basics of rugby being executed very well in the second half if they're going to get a win over this line.
What do you think, Claire? Are you a risk taker? Do you live on the edge, or would you have played?
I do think we should have gone for the 3 points there at the end, but no, it has been such a cagey start. Even out of the blocks, Ireland looked like they were starting to get into the game, and then just a lot of errors came in, and they allowed Scotland to get in and score that early try. And it's just looked it's a bit hit and miss at times. So we're seeing glimpses of what Ireland can do, but Scotland are really bringing it to Ireland. They're really putting them under pressure. Defensively, I suppose we're seeing that Scotland are putting Ireland under so much pressure. They're double hitting. Ireland are really struggling to get any sort of gain line. And I suppose in the past 10-15 minutes we have seen that they've stepped things up. They're starting to play in the right areas of the pitch. They're getting the territory. But as Lindsay said, we're not seeing any points on the board yet. And that's what Ireland need now. We need to get on the board and we need to start clocking up those points.
Lindsay, we can take a look at that Scotland try after 8 minutes. Ellis Martin, what did you make of it and the build-up to it?
I'll be honest, one way lads, in the stand I said I think this is going to be a Scottish try here, because Scotland are a team have been building over the last 2 seasons. They're very confident, and looking at them throughout this 40 minutes, they execute the basics very well. And once you set up that maul as a forward, like when you're the opposing and the defending team, you will not stop that. Look at the momentum Scotland gain here, and Ireland are just on the back foot, and once you can just see it building in momentum here in speed and trajectory, and it's just one outcome there, and it is a try, and it is an area that Ireland have struggled in throughout this championship.
It really is, Claire, isn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose Scotland were able to get into this position because of Irish errors as well. There was a missed touch finder, there was a penalty, and it just allowed Scotland to get into that area of the pitch. If Scotland weren't in Ireland's 22, they wouldn't have scored that try. But yeah, I suppose in looking at Ireland's maul defence, they really struggled there. They weren't able to get the sack in, and they weren't able to overpower Scotland. Scotland just really got on top once they set up that maul.
For any young team, right, there is a very little lag time. You'll see there's no gap between the jumper coming down and our supporting players come in, and that's absolutely textbook in setting up a maul. I thought Scotland were excellent there, so as much as we're saying it was difficult for Ireland, we must give credit to the Scottish pack there.
Lindsay, set piece errors, it's something that has come up throughout this campaign. It's something Claire pointed out. We're going to take a look at a few incidents, and it's something that again needs worked on.
Is my face blue? Because I am blue in the face, saying that for anything that Ireland want to do well, or any team at any level, if you do not have set piece launch ball, you will get nothing. You're giving your back. Claire was a back, I was a forward when we played together. If you're not giving your back's ball to work off, then you're not going to make gain line. And it's just like a pendulum for Ireland. 1 minute they might do something really good. We saw a gain line by Bevan Parsons. Then it comes back to Dana, who they've done their homework on Dana as well. They're really coming up high on her, couldn't get the pass off, and then we go into a maul and the ball gets turned over. So they're just not getting them. It's every time. There's no flow. It's every time an interruption by a handling error. Now we must give it what the conditions were terrible at a time, but I still think there were areas where it was unforced errors on Ireland's part rather than blaming the weather.
Claire, Sam Monaghan, we talked about her coming back into the team today. It is a boost for this Ireland side, but Scotland have really dealt with her. She's taken some big hits, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. I think Scotland have definitely done their homework. They know that Sam is a big ball carrier, and they have been able to push her back. We've not really seen Sam get too much gain line. Scotland are coming up hard in defence. They're putting in double tackles, and it does just make it so difficult to get any sort of gain line, any sort of go forward ball. And that's what Sam loves playing off. She loves being able to use her feet, get a soft shoulder, and then be able to use the offloads. And that's what allows this Irish team to get in behind and then to set up the next phase. But we're not able to do that. We're not able to set up quick ball whenever we're being hit back so hard by a really good Scottish defence.
Will that have unsettled the side, Lindsay?
I think a little bit, because Sam missed out in the French game, and then she came in against Italy. I think that's when she had 34 carries, if I'm not mistaken. Then she had 44 against Wales. So a lot goes through Sam for us to build momentum and get that gain line that we so crave. So for her to be taken out, I'm wondering, is it an option for us to take her out of the first carrying pod and put her out in the second? We noticed that Linda Jungang got a lot of momentum out in the second pod, so you can see that usually defences are very tight between 10 and 60, so the first 6 defenders are very tight. Outside that, you'll start to get gaps. So I'm wondering if we move Sam out to our second carrying pod, would we get a bit more gain line? Because they've certainly done their homework on her.
Claire, we're going to take a look now at some good Ireland pressure. We almost had a try. We were all on our feet towards the end of that half. It didn't quite work out, but it's positive, and it's positive certainly going into the second half.
It is, and yeah, we've seen Ireland putting a bit of pressure on. Like, we've seen a few good kicks from Dan O'Brien, lovely little grubber through there, and they've just put the Scottish back three under pressure, and that's where Ireland need to be playing. They need to be getting the ball in behind, and they need to be putting Scotland under pressure like that. Obviously, we've had line out maul and almost a try, which was held up. It was really good defence from Lisa Thompson coming in. But yeah, like, we've seen glimpses of what Ireland need to be doing and what they're doing well at times, but we need to see more of that, and we need to see it more consistently.
Lindsay, what's being said in that dressing room at the moment? Keep up this kind of pressure, I imagine, is one thing.
Take a deep breath, get rid of all that nervous energy, and believe in yourselves. Like in the previous rounds, Ireland have done some really good stuff. Now they just need to see that consistency, and that's one thing that's probably lacked them a bit of. We can see here the go forward, and it's just, again, no more than Italy. When you're playing in a higher level, Scotland they're cute.
Yeah.
They're cute, and they built on having better test games coming into this championship. So if Ireland can just reduce the amount of unforced errors, be confident in themselves, but just do the basics in the second half extremely well, I think we'll get a better return from this. This was exemplary by Thompson. She just waited and got her time and so right. So I just think Scotland, though they're missing big players, they can just see that experience and that togetherness, and they're just winning that battle just ever so slightly against Ireland.
Claire, if you're Scott Beamons, what are you thinking? Do you stick with, do you make some changes? You know, how do you approach this second half?
I think initially we'll see the same team coming out onto the pitch, and hopefully they'll come out with a rejuvenated, real want and desire to go and play and put more pressure on Scotland. I do think, though, we will start to see some changes in around maybe the 50-55 minute mark. Obviously you have the likes of Cliona Maloney on the bench, who has a wealth of experience. She is someone who brings a bit of dog, and she knows how to win games as well. So I think we could see the likes of her coming in. And yeah, I suppose there's a lot of other potential off the bench as well, with Katie Heffernan potentially coming in for her debut. She impressed throughout the Celtic Challenge, and as a centre she is an unbelievable player, and I'd love to see her getting out onto the pitch and getting the opportunity at this level.
Be great to see, it certainly would indeed. But plenty still to come here at Kingspan Stadium in Belfast. Plenty still to come this afternoon as well over on BBC One. Following this programme, it's the Grand Slam decider between England and France, and ahead of that game we caught up with England's Sadia Kabea.
When I look back from my journey and stuff, it was nowhere near like a smooth path, but I think I always just had the mindset of, if I get there and I put the work in, I'll get there.
Look at the strength from Sadia Kabea. That was pure power.
Hi Sadia. So my question to you is, how important is it to have role models like you to show people that you can get into rugby via different pathways and that you can achieve success regardless of your background?
Yeah, I think it's so important to have, role models from different ethnic backgrounds, different cultural upbringings. Even when I first started playing, my whole team, bar like 2 people, were people of colour. The fact that it is a white-dominated sport as well. I think I started seeing myself sink into my shell a bit, because, how I was speaking, being a girl from South London, I had a bit of slang, I had a bit about me, and when I went into a club, like, that all changed. Stopped wearing my natural hair because I felt like, 1, it didn't fit into the game, and 2, it wasn't suitable as well. That's been a big journey now, obviously wearing my natural hair now. I've come in leaps and bounds, but I also came up with the idea of having a satin scrum cap, which, kind of protects the hair. And when something so simple that can also be so inclusive for young black girls coming into the game, remove a barrier that shouldn't even be there in the first place. And yeah, it's been a journey for me, but I'm trying to help others not have to go into that journey too.
Sadia Kabea actually being named the England captain is quite a significant moment in this fixture as well. Only 22 years old. There's a lot older heads out there, and she's the one who's been trusted with this.
To me right here. You've massively grown on and off the pitch, but how have you found growing into your new leadership role?
I really enjoyed it. I think it's been something I haven't expected to come back in and have that role, asked to be in the leadership team. Obviously, it's quite flattering as well, but also quite daunting being in a team of, loads and loads of leaders anyway. But I think it's only helping me grow my game, so I've been enjoying it.
Hi Sadia, if you could go back, what would you tell your 12-year-old self?
She's so formal. I think I'd probably tell her maybe to back herself more. The last time I was in France away for the Grand Slam decider, I was actually on the bench and didn't get on. So for now, that's to be flipped 2 years later where I'm starting in this game. It's really exciting, but I think I would definitely just say back yourself more.
That's England against France, the Grand Slam decider over on BBC One following this programme. But a big half coming up before that here in Belfast. Claire, we know that the fact that Wales did beat Italy, a win for Ireland here should be enough for World Cup qualification and that third spot.
Yeah, a win for Ireland will mean they will come third. And I think they literally just need a win, and they need to just make sure that the Scotland don't get any bonus point. So that's in terms of a bonus point from 4 tries or a bonus point in terms of a losing bonus point, which I can't see happening. There's a lot riding on this match. Ireland will want to come into the second half with an improved performance. They'll want to continue to put pressure on the Scottish team, but they need to get points on the board early if they're wanting to get that win.
They know what's at stake. Lindsay, do they have to step it up a bit?
Yeah, I was just thinking there while Claire was chatting. This game is there for the taking, so it's whatever team wants it more. We mentioned Clean Maloney. It craves someone with a bit of bite and someone that's going to grab a jersey of their teammates and push them through. We didn't mention Aoife Dalton, though I think it's so unlucky not to be starting today. I think she's a little pocket rocket. She gets us gain line, and I think another player there who sits on the bench, and she's probably barking, raring to go at Scott, get me in. So I'd like to see those two players probably introduced pretty quickly, because I just think it needs a spark of energy and just a rejuvenation. And I think the game it hangs in the balance. We have our own little slam decider, well, not a grand slam decider, but we've a very important decider here today. So I'm hoping for a much better second half performance from Ireland, because it's in them.
Absolutely is, and we've seen some images there of the fans here at the stadium. It's great for them, Claire, great atmosphere, and as Lindsay says, there's so much to play for here. We need the crowd behind the team as well, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably the biggest crowd that we've had at Kingspan for a women's game, and it's great to see them out in full voice. And now the sun's coming out as well. Hopefully it'll stay out for the second half, and the fans will increase the volume even more. But no, it's a great occasion, and hopefully the team will be able to come out and do it for the fans.
I hope so. Thank you both so much. We can put the umbrellas away now, girls. Hopefully the teams are coming back out. We'll pass back to our commentary team. Kira Griffin is alongside Oisin Langdon.
And I'm not sure if I'll be able to hear Kira. That's because the noise level has shot up here. It's deafening, Kira, isn't it? It's a really good atmosphere.
Absolutely. It's great to see so many supporters here for the women's game, and hopefully we get a spectacle here now in the second half.
As it stands, Scotland on their way to the World Cup. Ireland can still get there, but it would be a slightly longer route. If Ireland win but Scotland get the 2 bonus points, as in 4 tries and lose within 7, then Scotland will get third position. So O'Brien about to get us back underway. Ireland with no points. They came close enough in the first half. And O'Brien kicks it deep. Well taken by Deely. Deely running into Smith. Jugang. Riley. O'Brien. Corrigan's going to chase. Oh, she almost got there. It is collected by Breen. And it's a scrum to Ireland.
Advantage offside 12.
Well taken by Monaghan. Ireland have made a change. Nebo Dowd has come in.
You got the advantage, Green.
Here's Breen.
Hold it, Matt Kelly as well.
Good start to the second half by Ireland. Riley. Scotland have to move away. O'Dowd, O'Brien, Hogan almost breaking through, getting the pass away to Corrigan. Corrigan! What a try! She's come up with the goods yet again, Katie Corrigan. A fantastic move, an even better finish, and Ireland back on level terms.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
And now the conversion attempt.
There's a nice thumbs up, Holly.
TMO Dan Jones is on duty today. Are you surprised, Ciara, that maybe he wasn't called upon there?
Yeah, I did. I just thought, I suppose in the contact could have been a knock on, but obviously he's been overlooked, so we'll take it.
A rub of the green.
20
Here's
seconds.
O'Brien to try and kick Ireland in front. Just doesn't quite have the legs. It wasn't far away, but that's a great start to the second half. Corrigan again.
Great line there by Brittany Hogan. She stuck in three Scottish defenders, but also great finish here by Corrigan. She had a lot of work left to do.
The Wicklow youngster squeezing into that corner. Now playing her rugby with Old Belvedere and Leinster. Here's O'Dowd. O'Brien receives from Riley. O'Brien goes deep and central. Thompson's kick is not bad. Well, it presses Ireland back just a little bit anyway. Although it will be an Irish line out.
Go. Line's the middle. Line is the middle, yeah.
Niamh O'Dowd, another Old Belvedere representative.
The line is the middle.
The rain for the moment staying away. And there's no real breeze to speak of. We've had all 4 seasons today in Belfast. All 4 seasons during the first half, in fact. The line out does not go to plan and it bounces kindly for Scotland. McDonald was swallowed up. Wafer intercepts, it goes loose. It's a knock on by Scotland and a scrum for Ireland. It is quite scrappy, isn't it?
It is just a lot of unforced errors from Scotland in the first 4 minutes here, but Ireland have come out with a bite, and they really want to put in a performance here, so you can see the extra pressure being put on. Pressure that might have been lacking in the first half, so it's great to see that bite on the Irish side.
That is the Irish coaching ticket. If they're happier, they're not showing it at the moment anyway.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Riley. Riley gets it under control, gives to O'Brien. O'Brien. Well gathered on the wing by Corinne Grant. McDonald. The Scottish wingers Grant and McGee haven't seen a whole pile of ball, which is a compliment to Ireland, isn't it?
It is completely.
Winger is on, wait.
Those are players who can do damage to really, really decent wingers. O'Brien. Ireland about to make another change. It will be Cliona Maloney to come in, but it will be Scotland. Well, I thought to clear it, but Nelson keeps it in hand. There was a big green wall rushing up at her. McMillan.
Roll out, Green.
Scotland drive on. Corrigan there to stop them. McDonald
Wait.
had to kind of shuffle a little bit there, but still not a bad kick from Helen Nelson.
Well clear, good clear of pressure.
Sub, 2 Green. Number 2, sub, Green.
And Cliona Maloney is coming in. The vastly experienced hooker started playing rugby while studying in IT Sligo, also played Gaelic football in the past. Came back a couple of weeks back. The mystery was why she was away for so long, but she's back now.
Yeah, look, it's great to see Cliona Maloney back. She's serious talent, and you can see the experience she'll bring here in the second half. It's great, some sensors restored.
You had to think about how you'd phrase that, didn't you?
A wordsmith.
Here's Maloney. Oh, it just slipped away from the grasp of Hogan. Hacked forward by Ireland, who are playing very much on the front foot. O'Dowd, who's really injected something into this Irish team in the second half since coming on. MacDonald.
Yeah, play on. Right, tackle now.
MacDonald wants to get the ball, but she will get the penalty.
Slowing the ball down.
Thompson.
Number 3, sub.
Scotland are making a substitution. Belisle is heading off. Clark is coming in.
Cool. Time on. Is the line in the middle? Yeah. Yeah. Fine.
Clark, the 23-year-old prop from Bristol Bears.
Fine, play on. Tackle, release! That was a tackle, you've got to release her. Wasn't a maul?
Penalty Scotland. And Scotland get decent position inside that Irish 22.
All right, Holly, let's just watch for the maul set up. Here's the middle. Over, please. Over. Keep going. Thank you. Over, 7. Over. Thank you. Hold that space there. They will come in. They will come in. Blue in now.
Well, it hasn't
And
rained
now, thank you.
for about 20 minutes, but the ball is still wet. Still a lot of moisture on the ground. Malcolm. Scotland go to that maul again and then pop it out. They caught everyone by surprise there. Thompson.
Right, green. Ball in.
MacDonald. They'll try and carry. I think that's Gallagher. MacDonald works the narrow side. Nelson, this is good from Scotland. There's a gap there, can they get through it? It was closed. But it's still Scottish ball, and it's MacDonald. And now Martin. MacDonald, Nelson. Shoveled onto Malcolm. MacDonald. Scotland getting closer. Malcolm. MacDonald back inside to Wassell. MacDonald. Nelson. Good pass, kept her head, got it to Macmillan, who got it away.
Ball is there.
MacDonald wants to play it and play it quickly. Martin back inside. Wassell. Martin waiting for it. It's Thompson who's through. Thompson! And Scotland hit the front. Well, they were patient. They just kept going through the phases, and eventually the gap opened and they went through it. And it's Lisa Thompson.
Some really good phases put together by Scotland there. Just patience and attack, going through the phases. They weren't panicking, weren't doing silly offloads, just going through the basics, and eventually the space will come. There was some very good scramble defence from Ireland, which was really good on the wing. You can see Scotland were using both sides of the ruck to keep both sides honest, and eventually just use their speed and their hands to go wide.
I'll watch that one. Yeah, sure.
Well, they switched the angle of attack a couple of times as well, didn't they? And they looked really comfortable doing it.
Okay, thank you.
Great line here again, just that disconnect there, bit of too much of a gap. Great spot by Lisa Thompson. I think well deserved, well earned from her performance today.
Was
Nelson.
Was what the captain was saying. What was what the Ireland captain was saying?
No breeze, but the ball has fallen over.
Is it blocking? Is that what she was meaning? Okay, just ignore it. Okay.
And she's running out of time, but would still go through the routine. And Scotland extract the full 7. And are back in pole position for 3rd place and that spot in the World Cup. O'Brien. Well gathered, good hands there by Bartlett. McDonald. Malcolm.
Tackle, release.
Ireland have to release.
Right, wingers
Scotland with the exit.
Inside.
Dealey was waiting if it stayed infield, it didn't. It will be a line out to Ireland.
Yeah. Just on inside the line, yeah. Thank you.
Brian Eason can afford to smile at the moment.
They will come in.
Maloney. Scotland, brilliant, brilliant in the line out. Macmillan then secured, and here's MacDonald trying to weave through as Alex Stewart.
Wait, no, she's fine.
And Scotland will just clear again.
Wingers are on.
Parsons in a bit of space. Riley.
No, backwards.
Monaghan.
Right, release.
Riley.
Wingers on.
Higgins. Breen, I beg your pardon. And Scotland get it away.
Sorry, hold on now.
O'Brien.
Wingers are on. Hold there, 9-9, wait.
Ireland follow the kick.
Hold on now.
But Nelson fooled them all. And Nelson still going. Wafer tried to turn it over. Penalty Scotland. Offside against Ireland.
4 offside.
Scotland looked like, well, it's not like they'd lost their composure. Ireland had a good start to the second half, but they knew that would come, and they stayed calm.
Yeah, completely. They went through the phases. They trusted their own abilities, but again, that comes from that experience within the group as well. And they're playing the occasion. They're taking the right choices.
What's up on me, Holly? Just inside the 10.
Again, for Ireland, it's unforced errors. It's their own. They're their own detriment at times. These silly penalties letting Scotland back into their half.
Well, I think the job of work that was needed on this team and so many other maybe factors around women's rugby in Ireland was well recognised before this Guinness Six Nations. Winning a match does mark progress, but they'd love to claim a second victory here and third spot if they possibly could. That would be possibly beyond their expectations for this season.
Completely.
She's fine. Keep the same
A
line.
bonus point picked up against Italy.
Right,
A decent enough display against France. Twickenham, well, you write that off and you learn the lessons from it. England will do that to many good teams. Scotland looking to run through again. Emma Orr.
No hands, sorry, no hands green.
Nelson was waiting, didn't get the pass though. Still battling away is Gallagher. MacDonald helped out by Bartlett. Russell driven back.
No hands, blue. No hands, green. Leave it. Use it. Right, that's them all. Play on. Tackle, leave it.
Wafer.
Well turned over there by Ireland.
Brilliant. Riley. Great take by O'Brien. Higgins has a look up.
Let it go.
Riley. O'Brien. Dorothy Wall did well to hang on to that.
Blue, remove. Yeah.
Penalty Ireland.
Same.
Scotland not rolling
Same
away.
as over there. Slowing down the ball number 4. Take Laura.
We've had 6 penalties in the 22 area. This is number
You are
7.
the captain. Didn't come through the captain.
Sorry, I told you.
That's all right. No.
Ireland have co-captains, but only Sam Monaghan is allowed to talk to the referee.
Where you are.
She was very clear again. It has to come through the other captain.
Yeah, thank you. Second total or second? Go. Go again. Against Scotland.
Maloney. Maloney. Hogan got her hand on it but couldn't make it stick. Fell kindly for
No, hands.
Martin.
That's outside. That's outside.
Here's
That's
McDonald.
outside.
Scotland will clear. Parsons waits and it falls her way. Parsons. Great footwork.
Yeah, get out of it.
Riley, Monaghan, O'Brien, Wall. Riley, O'Brien keeps it in hand. Higgins, this is decent by Ireland. Riley, Jugang. Martin clings onto her for dear life. Here's Riley.
Yeah.
Ireland penalty.
Side entry, but you've got to get out. That's 3.
Yeah, but for the first time.
Yeah, that's 3 different things, all right?
Yeah, but the penalty count, that comes in, and
Thank you.
Monaghan trying to get her a point across, but none of it is being had.
I presume the point they really want to get across is how many times does Scotland have to give away penalties before a card comes out.
It is completely, but then Ireland have to be careful too. They're going to highlight that. Scotland going to highlight for them too on the flip side. Ireland has 6 penalties, Scotland have 8 against them.
That was close, but right in the corner, perfectly aimed by Dan O'Brien. Scotland making a couple of changes. Eva Donaldson is coming in, and Rachel McLaughlin also. Rachel McLaughlin of Sale Sharks, former Scottish judo champion. So well up for the fight. Ireland secure line-out ball. It was McMahon who took it. Scotland desperate to keep them out, trying to stand strong. Ireland with a bit of momentum. Ireland, are they over? It looks like they are. And I think it's Maloney. A perfectly executed line out, and Maloney carried it over as Ireland mauled, and they're back to within 2.
Good execution line out there. McMahon, good field in the air. Good control here. You can see McMahon, she's orchestrating it, she's forcing him on. Good leg drive, nice patience, and the referee said to you once that it was going sideways, and just Maloney using her experience and securing the points.
Great to have her back.
Sure is.
O'Brien. To level it up. O'Brien. That looks good, because it is good, and we're all square. These two only do exciting, especially when they meet here.
Completely. And Easton coming into this, he was saying they are quite a balanced group. Whenever Ireland plays Scotland, it is quite balanced, and you can see that already. It's a real test, real fight here.
And the decibel level has risen again. Thompson. Well taken.
Hold on now.
Scotland get the line out just inside that Irish half. So how does a draw change things, and what does a draw do? We talked about Scotland winning or Ireland winning. We actually didn't even discuss a draw beforehand. Well, that's how the table would look if it remains as is. Scotland would still get that third position.
Yeah. Ladies, let's go.
Akira, you were saying even beforehand, even if Ireland don't get third, it isn't necessarily the worst thing, and this has still been a Six Nations campaign of progress.
Completely, exactly. Look, even if you do finish fourth here, it is WXV2, which is still a very high standard competition. And so, and again, it has good options for World Cup qualification.
Scotland were in WXV2 last season and they benefited from it.
Massively.
WXV3 was somewhere that Ireland got to do a lot of work together, but may not have learned a whole pile about themselves because of the paucity of competition. Scotland have the ball. MacDonald. Carriers waiting. Martin is one of them.
Use it now.
MacDonald.
No. Hold there, no.
That's well held, well taken. Here comes Parsons. Parsons at pace, at speed. This is great from Parsons. What a handoff that is. Parsons still going. Parsons! Eventually, her run is ended by Gallagher. But what a run it was. O'Dowd.
Good double hit there by Wassel.
O'Brien, Jugang hangs on to it. Great handling again by Jugang. Riley. Outside it went from Higgins. Still Ireland ball. Scotland have got it though. Scotland have turned it over. They've got the penalty.
Great position there by Clark. O'Brien was unfortunate. She was falling as she took that ball. But Clark, great positioning, low over the ball. The first motion was to pull the ball up, forcing that turnover. But look at the run here by Parsons. Really backed herself back to her speed. But great defensive attack here by Gallagher. Great tracking back.
Parsons with the handoff on Corinne Grant.
1 and 2, sub. 1 and 2. 1 and 2, sub.
Scotland emptying the bench. Molly Wright wearing 16 coming in. Bartlett being replaced, also coming in Coburn, replacing Bartlett.
Time on. Yeah.
Molly Wright, New Zealand born, currently playing for the Sale Sharks. Oh, that's a good steal. Riley, Wall, O'Brien, Higgins, Parsons. And this time, Grant does make the tackle and does make the hit and brings Parsons to ground, but it's still Ireland ball. O'Brien, Wall. O'Brien, helped on by Breen. Jugang.
Right, tackle now. Let it go.
Jugang presents for Riley. Breen, Wafer. Coburn getting right into the thick of it. She's not long off the bench. And that's O'Dowd.
Good footwork by O'Dowd there to get past the first tackle.
Riley to the narrow side, helped out by O'Brien to Wafer.
Good hands.
Fantastic hands, Wafer. There's a confidence about Ireland. Commentators curse. Not releasing. Penalty Scotland.
Well won there, Mike Donald. Scotland were getting under pressure there in defence. Ireland making a good line, good momentum. It's a nice momentum break there by MacDonald.
Let's go. She's not down.
Maloney just ghosting in, taking it really well. Well, Scotland have been excellent at times in this Guinness Women's Six Nations. That fantastic win against Italy. Good victory against Wales. Very unlucky not to get something out of the game at home to France. Now against England they were nilled, but well, England can do that to anyone.
Into the white, it's a middle, over.
Right. Who was out for a year with a knee injury, so it's good to see her back. Scotland have secured the possession. Judging by how you reacted there, I don't think you think that was straight.
No, it might have been aired on the side of it, but we play what's in front of us.
And we play with Emma Orr. Emma Orr, who's a fantastic game breaker. Orr kicks ahead. Dealey running back, has to be careful. Coming up the wing is Grant following. And Dealey does what is necessary.
Goal line drop out. Goal line drop out. Huh?
It wasn't straight.
We're playing the goal line drop out. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Anything?
Scott, Aoife Wafer is actually down getting some treatment, and
Yeah, okay.
Sam Monaghan in the referee's ear saying that line out wasn't straight.
I'm happy with the line out, okay. We need to make sure our chats are relevant, okay?
Okay.
If you disagree, that's fine.
Okay.
But I'm not going to change my decision all the way down here, okay?
Look, Monaghan is right in her questioning. It's just the timing of the questioning, and look, the ref has been very clear. She made her decision. You're not going to overrule it now, overturn it. And sometimes you got to bite your tongue and know your battle's been lost.
It's a fine line, isn't it? Aoife Wafer would be a huge loss if she was to go off now. Especially when the game kind of opens up a bit, because she's such a good carrier.
She's so explosive in her carries, and the smallest gap she makes gain line.
Player of the match against Wales, Aoife Wafer. Seems to like the 4G pitches. Played well in that game, playing well in this game. Likes the grass pitches as well. She's just a good player overall.
Thank you. Right, water off now. Water off.
And you can see what it's taking out of the players. As soon as we had that stoppage, the water carriers were on straight away.
Time back on, goal line drop out.
O'Brien. McDonald fumbles, but backwards, so that's okay. Or McDonald. Malcolm Gallagher, I beg your pardon.
Ball is there.
McDonald. Nelson. McDonald. Gallagher. McDonald. Malcolm. Jugang and Breen were waiting for her. McDonald gave to full back. Smith.
Turnover is good.
Good turn by Maloney.
Fantastic, she's made a real difference. Riley.
It's taken back.
O'Brien.
The winger is on.
Confidently taken by Nelson. Thompson.
Release Green. Green off it.
McDonald. McLaughlin. Penalty Ireland.
Over here. Neck roll.
For a
10
neck roll.
blue, just after the ruck. On the neck.
There's a neck roll there on Aoife Wafer on the last breakdown.
Yeah, we're playing on.
Well, generally,
What number
anything
is he?
like that, you're lucky if you don't see a card.
You are, was just momentum the way it took him. There was no malice in it.
Time off.
Adele McMahon getting some treatment.
Around the mat then.
This is the incident.
You can see Wafer got really low over the ball. Forced Nelson to, so it was a dangerous clear out.
So, how does the table look? And here it is, Scotland hanging on to third as we speak. But if Ireland were to score again, then they'd get third position. Scotland can lose and still claim third. That's if they get two points out of the game, as in a losing bonus point and a 4-try bonus point now.
Right, cool.
Given what's on the clock, it's highly
ladies.
unlikely
Water
that would
off
happen.
now.
But it's possible. Anything is. That's
Water
why
off
we love
now.
sport. O'Brien. She's really growing into that role as Ireland's out half, isn't she?
She is. Look, she's getting more and more experience each game, which is great, and get more experience making decisions under pressure.
She seems to relish the pressure as well. Hogan. Ireland maul. It's a really decent one as well. Still Ireland. Riley keeping an eye all the way. Wassel has to get back on side. McMahon getting involved. Riley waiting. Ireland 8-9 metres out. The ball goes loose. What a turnover. What a steal by Scotland. It's grabbed by MacDonald. Well, that's frustrating for Ireland, but brilliant by Scotland. Nelson, Thompson. It's risky. They've played it across their own 22, and they might get a reward. McGee trying to get away. McGee with the kick and chase. McGee following it. It's sitting up. Oh, I thought it was going to sit up nicely for her, but a green jersey beat her to it. But a great break by McGee. Hasn't had much of a chance to do it today, but when the opportunity arose, she really took it.
Use it now.
O'Dowd.
Yeah. Ball is there.
O'Brien.
Right, she's on.
Remember, a draw is fine for Scotland.
Hold on now.
And they'll counter-attack. O'Dowd is down injured at the moment. We play on, she's back up at her feet, she's okay. O'Brien.
Hold green, hold. Wait, wait. On now. Hold blue.
Parsons waits. Parsons takes. Parsons. Parsons almost got through. Riley.
Thank you.
Maloney. O'Dowd. Advantage coming for Ireland.
Scotland are offside and centre there.
Number 4. 4 offside. Move it back on side, number 4.
Penalty Ireland.
Here you go, here's Matt.
O'Brien uses that trusty left boot to gain territory.
Take a step. Blue over. Blue. Thank you.
Well taken by Sam Monaghan. Wafer will break. Had more with her. Wafer gets through. Wafer with one defender to beat. Support from Maloney there. She gets it to Maloney. Maloney was a little bit behind her. She did well to take it, but it's still on the Irish side. It's Riley. Wafer. Riley. O'Brien. Hogan lost it. And it's
Knock on by blue.
a knock-on by Scotland, actually, so it's advantage Ireland.
Got a knock on by blue. Yeah, the second one when she came in to pick up the ball. Knock on blue.
They almost got away there. Wafer and Maloney combining well.
Great break there by Wafer, that explosiveness backing herself. But the support line by Maloney was excellent as well, just that support on the ball.
Well, when they've got the line out right, Ireland, they've really used it effectively. What about that from Wafer? The goose step, the pass, and Maloney unlucky. Coburn, to be fair, made a great tackle, a vital tackle.
Change here for Ireland.
And in comes Ika Hihipo, playing her rugby with the Trailfinders, made her debut against Wales. Originally from New Zealand, Ika Hihipo. Riley feeds. Ireland with the momentum. O'Brien. O'Brien gives it to Higgins.
You need a roll first.
Penalty Ireland. They want to tap and go quickly. Wafer. They're not allowed though.
What do you want? What would you like?
If you need to win the game, you probably would take the 3 points here if you want to just win, but then it's the margin as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they've had a couple of opportunities throughout the game to kick for the posts. They haven't taken them.
Out here.
But this is an opportunity they will take, and it's the wise choice.
In line with me over here. Out here. Thank you.
Well, we'll show you the table in a moment or two, but I can tell you that Ireland will go into third if they win,
No water
and if
to
they go
anyone
ahead
else,
here.
okay? Thank you.
7,468 people in to watch this. It's a huge crowd. Are they about to watch Dan O'Brien kick Ireland in front?
Was there anything in that last scrum?
That
No?
shot clock is running down, but O'Brien is in full control. And he'll go right down to the wire. I told you she was in full control. Ireland lead by 3.
It's good to see Ireland taking the points here, just taking that option. I know sometimes you want to go for the corner, but you've got to see, you've got to win this match. Doesn't matter about the margins.
As it stands, Ireland are going to the World Cup. But there's a long, long way to go. And remember, Scotland only need a draw.
Contestants, fine, play on.
Or contesting it really well there. Good play by Wall. Hogan, who gets swallowed up, I think. Scotland have turned it over. The offload is messy, it's dropped, but it's backwards, so it's okay. O'Dowd is receiving treatment. Ireland down to 14, so we stop play because O'Dowd is right in the middle of all that.
Timer's off. Timer's going to restart here with the scrum to blue. You've got to play it down in the middle of it.
Well, we told you what the table was. Let's show you what it is.
Okay, thank you. I'll stand on that side of the scrum. And then if you want to watch this side as well. Cool.
So Ireland took the contest and they knocked it forward to us in the air.
At the line out, when?
No, here in this kick, the restart.
Oh, I was happy with that one. I was straight in line with it. Yeah, no, so I think it went.
Well, the record attendance of almost 7,500 people have been given plenty to talk about and plenty to debate after this game and plenty to entertain them.
Okay. Water off. Water off now. We're going to restart with a scrum to blue.
Big scrum here now for both sides.
Inside.
Square on them, square.
Just make sure both shoulders square and straight, okay?
A huge, huge scrum for Scotland. Remember, for either team, there is a route to the World Cup, even if they don't claim third position today. But you'd rather get it done early.
Bind. Sit. And we go.
McDonald, Ireland buckled Scotland in that scrum, but it's a penalty. Not a popular decision.
Angle. Number Ireland.
Well, Ireland thought they'd got on top. Ireland thought they'd driven Scotland back.
What's
but
the number, Ireland? That's okay.
And into the corner, Scotland go.
Good field position there with Thompson.
What do you think? Was that a fair call?
Ireland forced, they're driving straight, they're driving square.
Okay.
So I think that was an unfortunate call against Ireland.
Interesting as well that Scotland had the opportunity to kick for the post there, and they went to the corner. A draw will do for them, but they've secured it in the line out. It's good play by Scotland. McDonald, Thompson, she's already scored once.
Let it go.
McDonald, well taken. Scotland using that powerful ball carrying ability of Coburn. Here's MacDonald. Now it's McLaughlin. MacDonald. Nelson. MacDonald. Malcolm. MacDonald. Coburn waiting again and receives it. Gets support there from Donaldson.
Let it go.
MacDonald. McLaughlin. MacDonald. Molly Wright. MacDonald. Scotland going coast to coast. MacDonald. Trying to bash her way through. I think that was Gallagher who carried. MacDonald. Nelson. Great handling by Scotland. MacDonald. They'll have another go. It's now back to Malcolm. Ireland have turned it over.
Well ripped and attacked by Anya Green.
Yep. And now O'Brien will clear.
Really good defensive set there by Ireland. Some really good double hits going in, driving Scotland back.
Yep.
But also quite very good patience and good discipline. Very easy to give away a penalty in that area, just being over eager.
Well, Scotland have the line out. Molly Wright to throw. Coburn went over and had a quick chat with her. Coburn in 17, Clark in 18, by the way. There was some late changes ahead of this game. Scotland have taken the ball in the line out. They've used their line out well. Right on the loop, gave it off to Thompson. MacDonald trying to weave her way through is McLaughlin. There was no room, but she has recycled. MacDonald. Good tackling by Ireland. It's still Scotland possession, but they are driven back.
Tackle now, Lidditz. Ball is there.
MacDonald. Nelson. Or again, it's fumbled. Scotland have the advantage. Here's Corinne Grant. The referee's arm's still out, so Scotland still have the advantage. MacDonald. And now the arm is down. Clark received.
You got the advantage.
MacDonald. Nelson. Flung out by Smith. And we're coming back with the advantage. It's a long advantage, but Scotland will take it.
11.
And there could be a yellow card here for Parsons.
Intentional knockdown.
So Ireland will have to complete the game with 14. Well, it's one of those things that if Ireland hang on, it's a genius move by Parsons. If they don't, then it becomes a talking point.
It's those 50-50 decisions, but as you said, look, otherwise there's going to be a nice open play for Scotland. You imagine Thompson in for the corner here, and they'll look to maul it.
Any kind of score will do for Scotland. A draw will do, a win will do. Thompson, that's in the race for third.
Okay, again, same section of the entry.
And just to confirm that, here is the table as it stands. Will it be changing in the next 10 seconds and whatever we play after that? Molly Wright. It's loose. It's Ireland's ball. It's O'Dowd, and all they have to do is kick it dead. Riley, cool as a breeze. Maloney's over it. Jugang. And Ireland will kick it out, and Ireland have claimed third and a spot in the World Cup.
What a result. Delighted for the team in green. Well earned.
A fantastic win by Ireland. Scotland might be scratching their heads wondering what happened, but yet again in Belfast these two have provided something dramatic, and look at the smile on Scott Beeman's face. A Beeman smile, if you will. Ireland 15, Scotland 12. Ireland confirmed third spot and a spot in the Rugby World Cup. Joyous scenes. They had to work hard for it. It didn't look good at one stage, but they've managed to hang on. O'Brien kicking that penalty. A pressure kick if ever there was one, but she made that kick. Wafer played her part, made some brilliant breaks. O'Dowd, what an impact she made off the bench in the second half. And the noise levels here, the excitement, the joy, on and off the pitch, for those in green anyway. Those in blue are disappointed. They gave it a big effort today, but just fell short. Scotland, who've also had some signature wins in this Guinness Women's Six Nations, fell just short of third position against an Ireland team who quite simply didn't give up. And Dana O'Brien, who has been settling into the number 10 role, but it's Brittany Hogan who is the Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match, and it's well deserved. There are many who had their hands up, but it's Brittany Hogan who gets that prize, and look what it means to those players. Ireland through to the World Cup, Ireland 15, Scotland 12.
Thank you, Oisín. Thank you, Ciara. Wow, Claire, what a result, what a performance. Ireland are going to the World Cup. That was exciting.
Honestly, I am just so happy for those girls. That is an unbelievable result, and my heart rate is through the roof right now. What a second half. Like, obviously there were ups and downs in it, but they've come out the right side of it. They've beaten Scotland, they're third in the Six Nations, they've got automatic qualification for the World Cup. Like, that is the best outcome. Going from, you know, wooden spoon last campaign to this, massive step up, and the girls really deserve it.
Absolutely, Lindsay, as Claire says, what an achievement. You know, what have you made of this match and this campaign as a whole?
Well, I'm struggling to hold back the tears, if I'm honest. Nicola, it is, you know what, these young players have been through the mill over the last 2 seasons. We knew it would be a transition period. We were part of a squad that missed out in the last World Cup, so to look at a few of the players who were through that and now look at the joys in their faces, Ireland are finally back in a World Cup on the stage we deserve to be on, that we want to be on. And it's credit to Scott, his team, and most importantly his players, so congratulations to all of them. This place is absolutely rocking. I'd love to be on the celebration train with them tonight, because you know they really do deserve it. It wasn't pretty, I'm not going to sugarcoat that, it wasn't pretty, but I'll tell you what it did bring was resilience. And we talked about decision making, that had probably come to bite them in the ass in previous rounds, and even in the first half they made the right decision with that 3 points and deserved winners in the end.
I think, Lindsay, that says a lot about what this really means, the fact that you're close to tears, what this means to this team, to the players that have come before, for the game as a whole in Ireland.
We fought for this game to be on this stage, for this to put another record crowd, for this team and these girls to get the credit and recognition they deserve, and they've showcased that. It's not pretty all the time, but they're young players, they're development players, they're very skillful players. We finally found a 10 in Dana O'Brien. We only spoke at half time with a lad in the stand about how many out halves we've gone through, so Ireland are looking at the real deal. It's not going to be pretty over the next probably year to 18 months before we hit the World Cup in England, but I think this team are ready. They're very open to learning, and they've a great management team behind them, so as I said, congratulations, and we look forward to the future with them.
I'm sure you can share those sentiments, Claire, having worn that green shirt.
Yeah, absolutely, and I suppose we both played in a World Cup, but you know, the last time round Ireland weren't involved in 2021, and this is just such a massive step for this team, for this squad, and as Lindsay said, for what they've been through over the past number of seasons. And you know, those professional contracts are now in place. There's a better setup in terms of getting a higher standard, better quality of rugby throughout the season with the Celtic Challenge. And you know, these girls they're training and they're playing with each other day in, day out, so that's going to benefit them massively. Now look, it's going to be a difficult, as Lindsay said, difficult 18 months. They are going to be playing against those top teams in the world, and that's going to be a real challenge. But I think that's going to be something that will get Ireland just to another level.
Lindsay, let's take a look back at how this game unfolded. Scotland had a try after just 8 minutes. Ellis Martin with that one. And we knew at that stage that Ireland were going to have to fight hard for a result in this game.
Yeah, we said about set piece, and I suppose an inconsistent part of Ireland's set piece has been the line out Any opposition who set up that scrum, we said it at half-time in our analysis, once they set it up, there's very little lag time there. Scotland were exceptional in how they set it up, and they just were patient and bought some time, kept plugging away and just kept building, and it was an easy try in the end.
It certainly was, looked like it was going to be a bit of an uphill struggle, Claire, at that stage, would you say?
Yeah, I definitely think it looked difficult for Ireland at that point with Scotland going ahead so early and Ireland sort of struggling to get into the game. But we saw through that second half Ireland were gaining momentum, and they came out of the blocks absolutely firing in that second half, scored a try within the first few minutes, and I think that really set the tone for the second half, and they just kicked on from there. Obviously there's a bit of back and forth. Scotland came on top, Scotland scored again, then Ireland back, and it was a fantastic second half, and I'm just so happy that they've come out with the result.
I think we should take credit for that, because we called for Cliona Maloney at half-time, did we not?
You did.
And she got the score, and you know what an icing on the cake to her return exile for a long time, and it was lovely to see her back, and she'd had some big turnovers. She sported.
Here's Ireland's first try. Lindsay, we can take a look at this Katie Corrigan try. As Claire said, they needed a big response coming into the second half, 5-0 down, and we got it early on.
But look at here, Nicola, what they did was, we spoke about them being patient, doing the basic right. They just go through their phases. They go open, they go blind. They've obviously targeted Scotland on the blind. Great game line carried by Brittany Hogan, who obviously has been named player of the match, and just a beautiful offload to Katie Corrigan, who has been the find of the season. So this is the thing, they just kept the momentum going, and it was something they were probably lacking in the first half, was that gain line. Look at this handoff, beautiful two-handed offload, and Katie Corrigan just finished. And as I said, she's an 18-year-old with a big future ahead of her. But look, Brittany stood up as well today. She must get a mention, back home in Ulster for her to shine, and she was a big contributor to today's win.
Scotland with a reply pretty soon after that, though, Claire, and almost Ireland brought back down to earth quite soon after, would you say? Yeah.
Scotland definitely did come back and kind of knocked the wind out of Ireland's sails to an extent, but they kept putting pressure on Ireland, big carries, taking in two of the Irish defenders, and Lisa Thompson just comes through with the try in the end. But I suppose that just shows that Scotland had continuity in their attack, and they kept playing, and the gap just opened up for Lisa Thompson to come through, and it was frustrating for Ireland at that point, and you hoped that they would turn it around again and bring it back, and obviously they did.
We'll take a little look at what happened after that, after we hear from the player of the match, who is Brittany Hogan, and she is with Oisín Langan.
Brittany, what a win, what an achievement. How are you feeling right now?
A lot of emotions. I'm tired, relieved, I'm just so happy. I don't even know what to explain. I don't even know how to explain it, sorry.
This team has been through so much to come up with the second half that you did, to claim third, to claim a spot in the Rugby World Cup. That's a phenomenal achievement, a phenomenal turnaround from last year.
Definitely. Even a phenomenal achievement from last weekend as well. Like, we made sure that we regrouped. We all came together, and we wanted this performance. Our captains spoke before the game, and they said it'll come down to the want today. And I think that we showed that in the last 2 minutes.
You kept your composure throughout the game as well, which was important, even when mistakes were being made and Scotland looked like they were getting on top.
Yeah, we all kind of pride ourselves on that kind of connection between our teams, so we made sure that we all grounded ourselves, took a breath, and just focused on the next job. So I think that was really important, that we stayed in the game, and that we didn't want them to pass the line, so they didn't. So.
And how does it feel to secure Ireland's place in the Rugby World Cup?
I only just got told that whenever I came over to the interview, so I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. It's a dream come true.
Go and celebrate with your teammates. You are the Guinness Six Nations player of the match. Brittany Hogan, well done to you.
Great to hear from Brittany. Claire, I don't think she knew what to say at times there, such as the emotion. It's quite overwhelming, isn't it? She talked about the togetherness in this team, and it's been quite a lot in quite a short space of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that over this past season, this group has been able to really come together, and that's partly to do with the fact that they're playing together, they're training together week in, week out. They had WXV3, which that allowed them to spend a lot of time together. And they've got to know how each other play. There's a real DNA within this team. We can see that there's a real want and a real desire that Brittany spoke of, and they just all want to play for each other. They want to do what they can for each other and for the jersey, and it's just fantastic that they've got this result and they've got that achievement at the end of it.
It certainly is great to see. Lindsay, let's take a look at the try from Cleena Maloney that levelled things and the winning kick from Dana O'Brien. Talk us through what you were thinking and feeling at this point.
Well, I won't sugarcoat, I'm very good friends with Cleena Maloney, so to see her go over the line, it was, well, for Ireland, not only for Cleena, but to just see their patience, their maul set up, their line out being a lot more consistent in the second half. I'd like to be bold and say I'd love to see Jones and Maloney on the pitch at the one time. Maybe Jones go to 6, but neither here nor there for the moment. Like, Ireland were just patient. We spoke about there's very little separation between the jumper and when them setting up on the maul, and I thought they were exemplary in how they set it up, because it just gains momentum and no defence can live with it, and they just, again, patient, kept burrowing away and just got over the line. But look at this composure from this young girl. Well, woman I should call her, apologies.
There was silence just ahead of this, wasn't there? She was as cool as a cucumber, wasn't she, Claire?
Yeah, and I think that's something that Dana sort of prides herself on. She always looks like she's so laid back about everything. And I think that's just the sort of person she is, the sort of player she is. And I do think that she is the future for Ireland at number 10. Like Lindsay said, we've been through a lot of 10s before Dana came into this shirt. Obviously, she's only 20. She's got a lot of years ahead of her in this Irish jersey, and she's got a lot to learn. There's parts of her game that have been absolutely fantastic, but there's a lot of things that she will learn and she'll be able to work on.
Look at these pictures,
Look
Lindsay.
at those scenes. Look how happy that team are, and as I said, just turn off the waterworks there. It's just they were rock bottom last year. Let's flip them back to a year ago where they were handed the wooden spoon. Now look where they're being handed World Cup qualification and the golden ticket that every nation is hunting for, and they're deserving of it, because Claire spoke there and you alluded to it. They've had a big focus on culture. I won't go into too much details, but there has been people in working with them. They're a young team. That's a very important part of this trajectory. We spoke about Twickenham last week, the pressure that brings, fans asking them for photos, that brings pressure, and then you have to perform on the stage here in an Ireland jersey. So look, we won't speak anymore. It's celebration time for them now, and yeah, may they enjoy it.
Absolutely great for the fans. The atmosphere here has been amazing, Claire. A record attendance here at Kingspan Stadium today as well.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. The fans really showed up, and I think they were that 16th player on the pitch for Ireland today. Obviously, the girls that are on the pitch, they do the job, but the fans really bolster you whenever you're struggling. At those last 5 minutes, whenever Scotland were in Ireland's half, and it looked like they had the penalty, they had the line out, they could have scored.
Yep.
But Ireland kept them out, and the fans were just fantastic today. It's been great.
They absolutely were. Well, we have plenty more sport coming up for you on BBC Two this weekend. There will be a party at Inver Park later as Larne, they pick up the Gibson Cup when they host Colbury, and that game is live here on BBC Two from 5:15. Tomorrow, a big day in the Championship, the Ulster semi-final between Donegal and Tyrone, coverage on BBC Two from 1:45 p.m. And next Saturday, the 4th of May, the Irish Cup final as Linfield take on Cliftonville, again live here on BBC Two, and all of those also on the iPlayer. The Irish Cup final kicks off at 2 p.m. next Saturday. So much sport to look forward to. It's been a fantastic afternoon here at Kingspan Stadium. A big thanks to Claire, a big thanks to Lindsay for their company today, and for you for watching as well, as Ireland book their place at the World Cup. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. From all of us here at Kingspan Stadium in Belfast, it's goodbye.